Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take a quick recap and or look at Bitcoin before the daily candlestick closes. I'm a little earlier than usual. We've got a couple more hours before today's candle closes, but I want to kind of highlight some important stuff from earlier today if you missed my update this morning. Now, just to touch on it, first of all, we got this point of control here, the local resistance at 60,700. Price action comes up there, wicks up, pulls right back. Okay, our lagging spans also intersect with the price action, kind of implying that you want to close your long position in profit if you have one open. That's generally the way that conservative indicator works. Okay, so just some friendly advice. Make sure you secure profits if you can. I mean, if you got in at 55 or 52K on some crazy leverage trade, you may want to consider securing profits. Greed is a very real thing, and we'll be very surprised if the price of Bitcoin shoots up any higher right now. I do think 60,000 is a tentative support, but it's also potential resistance depending on how today plays out. Taking a quick look here at some quick congrats to our community members for some nice profits from Cardano, Solana, Matic. This is my day trading bot. Bitcoin, Cardano, Link, ETH, XRP. Nice trades there, all taken within 1 to 8 hours. We did take a swing trade ourselves. Again, less than 24 hours for a good 20%. That's a 10x leverage short. So what we want to look at here really quick is some back-end data, just kind of see what's going on. We are looking at about 63,000. That's still the same scenario. So if you missed my analysis earlier today, there's billions of dollars, big surprise, at a key level resistance, which is 63,000. That's right where the price action wicked up to and couldn't quite sweep the entire amount. It got a lot of it, filled the entire CME gap, and also closed the one that was created in its wake. But at this point here, we were starting to notice there's some stronger accumulation of volume right there. Okay, so a lot of shorts are successful at 63,000, and that's somewhere about $1 to $1.5 billion in liquidation there. Okay, so just know that exists. Does that mean the price shoots straight up? No. My anticipation and expectation is the price to pull back down lower, fill this lower CME gap. Sorry, correction, fair value gap, and you can see that actually on the 4-hour time frame here. And just to clarify, the likelihood of the price action continuing higher is still great because we're honoring our ascending trend line. So we bounce off this 68.6, maybe 59. Sorry, I misspoke. 58,600 / 59,000. That range, that would be a perfect consideration for as a rough estimate, as long as that trend line holds. Okay, again, does that always happen? No, the coins don't always do what we want them to do. Either way you look at it, daily time frame, significant rejection at 61.7, upwards of 63,000. We got all 4 moving averages right there. So it's going to take some time before we get to that 63 plus mark. Okay, I think if we get a solid candlestick closure, a daily closure above 63K, that would be important. I also think too that it's important to recognize kind of the significance of a daily close. I get the question a lot, like, hey, why does that matter? I mean, when it just turns right around as soon as the candlestick closes. But the truth is, it's just a 24-hour period, kind of lets us know who controlled that price action in that time frame, and that's what's the most important. Sometimes the levels are not exact, but generally speaking, it's best to wait and be patient in most cases. Okay. Looking here, we can see a rejection off of 50 on the RSI too, also confirming this bearish type of scenario that we're in. We still haven't broken bullish, basically. Doesn't mean we're totally bearish and the price is going to drop. It just implies that we haven't broken to the upside yet. Okay, and we want to be over the 20 and or 200-day SMA. So again, a closure above 63,000 or 63K would effectively make me feel a lot better or more confident about taking a long position. I know it seems crazy. It's like, why don't you just take a long at 60,000? It's not just that easy, folks. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Now, again, generally speaking, with these key levels, sometimes it is best to work with that. I mean, like, I shorted 60,000 with some extra entry targets in place, and we took some nice profit from that, right? So there's different trades that you can take, but at this point here, I think it's best to be a little patient and see how much, where the price action goes here. A closure below 59.5, and I think we're probably likely to see this lower fib level retested. Again, that fair value gap is it's there. Okay, it basically just means the price action moves so quick in that 4-hour period that no profits were taken. So whoever invested at that point is going to want to sell to get to that, right? If that makes any sense, they're going to want to take some profits before the price pulls back too low. Having said that 4-hour time frame, we can kind of see that we're pretty much in the same scenario as earlier. This isn't a bullish or bearish situation. It's kind of a transitional time frame letting us know, hey, we got some momentum to the downside. The stochastic and MACD, if I recall, is starting to lose momentum. And if we see the RSI, it's above 50, below 70. So that's generally bullish, generally a positive sign. We're establishing higher lows here. We're still looking good. But the truth is that we're seeing a shift in momentum, and we might see the price action pull back a little further. My money's a little bit more on the price action pulling down, but if the price goes sideways this weekend, we might see recovery from altcoins. just note the Bitcoin dominance isn't showing any signs of slowing down. It still wants to go up. And as that continues, we're going to still see altcoins bleed out. Okay, so again, I think you're more statistically likely to find success shorting than taking a long, but you want to be careful with that going into a weekend. Okay, hourly time frame, let's quickly understand this. Ichimoku Cloud, this is the confirmation, so to speak, that you may want to consider securing profits because the lagging span is about to intersect with the price action. We can also see the conversion lines below the baseline. We shifted momentum. Obviously, it's pretty transparent about that momentum shift here, but the truth is we're no longer establishing, higher highs. We're essentially establishing lower highs now. We've got to see where that goes first, okay? So a lot of times you can kind of draw trend lines out like this and kind of see what happens next. If it breaks above, perhaps we can consider the price is going to bounce at 60K, but until it does, or doesn't rather, either way you look at it, until that happens, we can presume the price will continue lower because of this current little short-term trend. The cloud is right here, of course, between 58.5 and 60.5, so it's a good sign here, showing us we got a lot of support in that range. So the truth is we're not in bad shape here at all. I would say we're generally still favorable, still bullish in the shorter-term time frames, but the macro hasn't confirmed bullish yet. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And try not to follow every Tom, Dick, and Harry online that's telling you to take a 100x leverage trade to the moon. Moon should never be in your vocabulary when you're talking about trading. What should be in your vocabulary is, safe words like, dollar cost average, or perhaps, things that might be a little bit more sensible, like risk management. Those are things you got to kind of think about, at least if you want to make this a thing, right? If you want to just have some fun casually on the side, it's all good, throw some money at the wall, see if it sticks. It's all good, but if you really want this to happen or something to really work out well for you, you got to treat it kind of serious. Anyways, I'll post this playout chart here in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Looks a little something like this if you're not familiar. Thank you to the newer members coming over. We're starting to get a good handful of followers there. Appreciate that. Same thing with YouTube, too, for anyone who's been watching or just recently joined. Thank you again. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps grow the channel. Gets us in front of more people and, hopefully one day gets those moon boys away from people like us that really deserve a fighting chance at making this a real thing. So just be prepared. Bitcoin does look like it wants to break down. Just a heads up on that. Either way, I'll cover this again in the morning. I hope you have a good rest of your night. We'll take care. Have a good one. See ya.